Okay, so this was an interesting film. It's one where the actor is playing themselves. Nick Cage is in this movie as Nick Cage, a struggling actor who's also having relationship problems with his daughter. And he takes up an offer from this millionaire to appear at the guy's birthday party. And then he gets wrapped into this CIA investigation because they think that that guy is dirty. So like I said, very interesting concept. Nick Cage is phenomenal in this. If you were a big Nick Cage fan, you were going to love this. I think that this is like a love letter to the big Nick Cage fans. And Nick Cage is playing a classic Nick Cage in this film. I also like the relationship he had between him and the Pedro Pascal's character, the millionaire. I thought that was some interesting stuff there. That being said, maybe the story could have been a little stronger. It wasn't a great deal to it. It's just like he shows up, he befriends this guy, they start talking about movies, and some funny stuff happens. Third act gets pretty dark out of nowhere, but all around, I thought it was a good film. Interesting. I rate my films based on how much I paid to see them. I go with the classic $8.50 price versus how much I thought they were actually worth. I got no complaints. I think it was worth the price, so $8.50 out of $8.50. Welcome to the 555 phone book, where I find 555 phone numbers from film and TV shows and put them in my 555 phone book. Okay, today's 555 phone number is pretty interesting because I didn't actually find it in a film or TV show. I found it in a magazine ad. Okay, here's the magazine, and here's the ad. You can see it's about digital watches, and it has Julie here with a 555 phone number. Okay, so there you go, another 555 phone number for the 555 phone book. Now, before we go, I know the question everyone's asking, well, why were you looking at a Playboy? Well, it's real simple, for my own sexual gratification. Welcome to the 555 phone book, where we find 555 phone numbers in movies and television and put them in our 555 phone book. Okay, today's another episode where we didn't find our 555 phone number in a movie or a TV show, but rather comic books. All right, and our first comic book is The Thing, issue 33 from 1986, and here's the 555 phone number from that. Okay, so this 555 phone number is for the Power Broker, and in the comic books, that's a supervillain who gives people superpowers and then exploits them. This was during the 80s, so I think it was like a metaphor for steroids. All right, our next comic book is Sleepwalker, issue 1 from 1991, and here is the 555 phone number from that. Okay, and this one, I think this is supposed to be like a police tip line, or maybe it's like a news tip line. Basically, in the story, they have this sighting of the Sleepwalker, who's this alien, and I guess you're supposed to call this number in if you have any information on him. Like I said, I don't know if this is supposed to be a police tip line or a news station tip line. There you go, 2 for the road. I think we're done here today on the 555 phone book. Okay, so I finally got a chance to see Morbius. I thought I'd give a quick review. Was this movie as bad as everyone's saying? No, I wouldn't say that. Was it really any good? No. I wouldn't even say meh to this movie. No, I would just say, what did I just watch? I'm telling you, by the end of this movie, you're just so confused as what you sat through. I think the pacing was just way too quick. I mean, he goes to Costa Rica or somewhere, gets some bats. You find out he's got some kind of blood disease. That's why he's using these bats. Weirdo science. And then he becomes a vampire. And then, spoiler alert, spoilers, his friend becomes a vampire and they fight one another. Like I said, the pacing in this movie was pretty quick. And ultimately, it's like, what was this about again? Vampires, living vampires, not your gothic type. Like I said, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. It wasn't really all that good. It was just really confusing. I liked Matt Smith in this. You know, him hamming it up. I thought he was pretty good. I thought the effects, the fighting was pretty interesting. The way they, you know, these two vampires, they fight at such a quick speed, they have to slow everything down. But they're not like, you know, like the Flash quick. Yeah. There's also one of those post-credit, mid-credit cameos, which I thought was pointless. But aside from that, you know, it's a movie. Okay, so, ranking. I base my ranking on how much I paid to see it. Today, I paid $5 to see it. I got it at the special matinee price or something. And I would add maybe $2 to the, you know, $7 out of the usual $8.50 that people go to see a movie. And that's my ranking for Morbius. What the hell was it? Oi, what are we having for dinner then, governor? Governor.
Bangers and mash we are. Bangers and mash.